Hey guys, welcome to Dow Jones Futures Review. I'm going to go over what went down Friday. We had absolutely perfect um, price action in terms of the setups I was looking for. And from there, we also almost hit my target that I've been talking about for months. So, all of you that have been helping, commenting, subscribing, and some of you that have been laughing and saying too many levels, too many lines. Well, if you don't understand what we're doing here, then that's fine. I'm happy to help teach you and help you understand. So let's kind of go over like a mini review of everything that I can and then get into the actual Dow Jones futures today. So first off, the white lines you see are the major lines. I adjust them daily based on previous price action. Orange lines are more minor lines and they're used more for confluence, such as something you see here that I'll get into, and more so for taking profits sometimes if the next major level is a little bit further ahead than we would like. From there, the reasons why I have major and minor lines is ideally I'm looking for setups at specifically minor lines and or as an area of interest. So that way I know where the institutions are also going to be looking to hunt for stop gaps and people who are trying to short at the wrong spot. So it's not really crazy. It's not that complicated. More importantly, just take screen time to hit the setups. Now, every day I'm looking for multiple things. If I'm finishing close to the top of the day for the high, for example, here on Thursday, we closed during the afternoon only about, let's say, 6 points from the high of the day. So at that point, then in my mind, I'm looking for structure. I want a new low set like this. I'm looking for traps, such as, again, this trap below this level, which was unadjusted, and you can see the perfect confluence with that level, and finding quality lows. What's a quality low? Here's one example of a quality low. Price set a low and then went up. This low went from 46.54 all the way for 30 plus points. Quality low. So if this had sold down and lost this low, maybe tagged this level, and then went back up above this low, I'd be looking for a failed breakdown entry. Just some basic stuff here. If you haven't watched my other videos, I haven't gone over this information nearly as much now because there is so many other videos available that you can watch from months ago where I was constantly explaining this. But from there, the first setup I had, and let's start going over what we have and why Thursday into Friday was very lucrative for those who follow my setups. First of all, we started off here with a dip in recovery at this level. When I set the levels up around this time, I did not know what would happen. I would assume that a pullback was necessary and we need structure. The usual first setup I have is typically the ultra bull case, in the sense that you usually want more pullback, especially when you're closing close to the high of the day. So in this case, the first setup would have been a dip in recovery, DR. If this was further down, then you could look at this setup as a direct DR. So instead of dip in recovery where you want to go below, if you're selling from up here around 46.87, and this is about 20 points down, as long as it's a slow controlled sell and I get a reaction at this level, I'd be willing to go long, possibly directly at this level, but ideally 2 or 3 points above. And since there's a minor level here, I'd probably wait for this one to clear before going long. Anyways, what we ended up getting was a perfect dip in recovery. At 3:30ish, we had the first bounce here. A couple more bounces when the market opened back up Friday evening, and then boom, perfect. 6:30, we dipped below and pushed above. That was that perfect dip in recovery. And from there, we just started pushing up all the way. We hit this level one more time, sold a little bit, perfect acceptance for a reclaim, and then we started pushing right back up. And then in this case, another acceptance of the reclaim from above, how we went through, sold down a little bit, and then started pushing up again. So multiple entries possible here. Both acceptances that we look for occurred. Couldn't tell you, it couldn't have been better. Overnight, we dipped into this level one more time. Another dip in recovery set up here at 2 o'clock. And then that allowed us to continue our way up. And we hit this zone, this these levels exactly and sold off. So again, price action doing its job for us. We just find the setups and we go from there. Once this low was established, although it just went for about 10 points, still some type of low, maybe not super significant, but we'd call it an overnight low. And at that point, I'll be looking for a failed breakdown of this overnight low. We tried to get it here at 7:30 where we dipped just below, but it really didn't go above the level that we had here. That's why I had a mini failed breakdown trigger when I saw that we were starting to push up, but we didn't get above here or hold it, so I didn't take it. However, right after, we got a classic trap here, right? What does it say? Look for traps. So this was the trap. They tried to get people to go long. They faked them out. They sold. They caught some people trying to go short below these lows. And then boom, right at the open 9:30, we pushed right off of this minor level exactly. We went right through and triggered that failed breakdown. And the rest was history. So really, I'm just super proud of the work we're putting in because this went from 46.90 all the way up to almost 40 points above, first of all. Second of all, the level still we're respecting. You can see right here, we hit this level, pushed through this zone and sold back down and then started pushing back up. We hit this level exact, we hit this level exact. I couldn't have asked for better price action. Now I want to get to this target. I've been yapping for months that Dow Jones is super bullish. I had a couple targets here below that I wanted to hit. We hit those, and that this is my final target I have in mind for now, and I'm going to cook up some more targets shortly, but that's what I had in mind. So maybe I was off by a couple points because guess what? We got to within 3 points of this target that I've been talking about for a while, and then we sold exactly 30 points right down. So we haven't had a 30-point sell like this in a while. So if you look back at the market, most of the sells like that are straight down have been like 20, 25 points. So this one went 30 straight points. That tells you the strength of this resistance. I truly believe we'll still get back here and probably tag this level closer to exact and then get a bigger sell to trap more people down here. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing what we can cook up next. Right here off the top, going forward onto Sunday open into Monday, you can see the beginning of a failed breakdown occurring. We have a nice clear low here that went for 15 points established. We lost it during the close and then we're starting to go above. I'm probably thinking something above this white major line. I think I'll adjust it, obviously, if I have to, but something around above this area will trigger a failed breakdown if we can. If we push back down and reject this area, which is very possible too, to fake some people out, then come back down, a failed breakdown of these lows. Not really much to see there, so I would say probably more of a direct long or dip in recovery where we can tag one of these levels here and then start pushing back up would be a great long here. So there's some setups for sure coming in, even because we're luckily sold Friday from the high of the day. I think we're still targeting this. This was the current breakout zone, so we could backtest that. If that loses, then you're going to backtest one of these zones, levels for sure, and we'll go from there.